Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah day.
Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield, and welcome to Last Man Standing. Stupid o'clock ran just a little bit long tonight, but fortunately, I keep my feathers numbered for just such an emergency. It was an excellent show. If you haven't seen it yet, please do watch it on the reruns. If you're watching this now or on the rerun, please do give a like, share, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff, and we will be infernally grateful. With me tonight, we have Aunt Donna. We've got, well, Dawn's off screen, but I'm going to bring her up anyway. And we've got Rich, who's just about to sit down. And, well, folks, wasn't that interesting? One of these days, I've got to figure out how to shoot Zach a link so he can pop in too, because he usually is a night owl like we are. How about that bologna and Tupperware? Oh, and Facebook just told me, please do start your show.
Well,
I still haven't got a YouTube.
Been watching the comments. Carl started singing the end of the show song about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, well,
am I muted yet, or did you guys unmute me?
You're unmuted. You're just your camera's not on.
You unmuted me. Okay, I'll be back in a second.
Hey, I can mute you if you want. I mean, if you swing that way, I mean,
I'm just giving the cat meds. It's not like I'm, in the bathroom myself.
Poor kitty cat.
We will pause the action here while we listen to Dawn's cat get meds. Oh dear, this week has been so outrageously haphazard. I couldn't tell you all the bizarre crap that went on in my life, and I know everybody else's life is running perfectly parallel, and bizarre shit keeps happening to them too. But
Shit being a key factor for me earlier today.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
it's life. Shit's always a key factor. I can't tell you. Oh, wow. I shouldn't tell you. Evidently, I ate something that was not good for me the other night. And I had to keep interrupting my work to take the half a mile jog to the nearest restroom.
Sounds
'Cause,
like what happened to Rich earlier today.
yeah, well, be damned if I'm going to drop my trousers in the porta potty outside, because that thing hasn't ever been cleaned. And
Get a staph infection just looking at it.
basically, if you're not standing up, you're risking your health and going to have to do laundry for ages.
And again, this is why I said earlier when Joe was talking about the message for Hallowcon that sometimes a hover is necessary.
Mm-hmm. Believe me, you'd have to hover at 10,000 feet to make this porta potty safe, uh, or within a third world country's health standards. Hey, I grew up in East Tennessee. I used a real outhouse. It was much cleaner than this thing. I knew it got scrubbed down with bleach and lye soap frequently. This thing, it's all plastic. Nobody cares. They can pick it up with a forklift attached to a truck, take it off someplace, and hose it out,
And they
and
don't.
bring another one back, and nobody cares. But if you don't have time to walk half a mile, your options are limited.
Yeah, so gotta take it.
Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
I went to a home show a few years ago, and there was a company there trying a new porta potty. It was the back end of a semi truck that had been converted into his and hers restrooms. It was divided in half, and one on one end, one on the other. And of course, it was a new thing, so it was totally spotless. But it's like, this is better than a lot of houses I've been in.
I saw one in England that was evidently the idea was that it was made with one-way glass so that you could look out, but nobody could look in. However,
They'd put it in backwards.
yep, in construction, somebody put the mirrors on the wrong side, so you couldn't see out, but everybody could see in.
I know so
Everybody
many
got
people
it.
that would just cause so much performance anxiety for.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
My nervous bladder took one look at it. Even if it was constructed correctly, I would not. I swear there'd be a rose bush somewhere that would be grateful for the donation. But I got to
Get
say,
out of here, pukey McFuckstick.
it's all right.
Last night he horked up. So
We're not trying to get monetized here, so
I brought more of my gaming books out of the closet because my original gaming group wants to go back to a previous version. So I had to go find the games or find the books for the game. And I've got the box for it a little bit behind me right down here.
Uh-huh.
So I've narrowed my gap to get out because Pukey McFuckstick out.
And out Pukey McFuckstick went.
Yes. But I've got
Recognize the tone of voice.
I've got my computer table right here. I have my computer table, my printer table right here. So I've got a much more narrow gap to get through nowadays. And I'm a wide boy with balance issues because of neuropathy. So he yacked right in the middle of the path where I have got no way to get out without stepping in it. Boy is lucky I eat at the computer and I'm a messy eater because I have a roll of paper towels right here to clean up. If I had to try to travel through that, oh. And of course, the dogs have been in here looking at the carpet all day.
Naturally. Uh-huh.
Oh, the
Lindsay-
joys of being a pet owner.
It's not their dessert flavor, but it's their entree flavor.
Lindsay doesn't know when she lets the dog out whether she's going to attempt to scavenge all the leftover cat food from the last feeding time or the extremely processed leftover cat food that is being used as fertilizer in the yard. And when I hear that screech, I know, yep, dog ain't licking my hand tonight.
So earlier, I found one of Barry's cat toys. I need to try to find his mice because he was playing with some fluff from underneath the couch the other day. So we realized that he's back into the mood where he wants to actually play with stuff. So I was looking in here for some of the cat toys when we moved. Not sure which box they're in, but I think they're probably somewhere in the office. But I found one of the little back in the 70s and 80s, there's a little fishing line, the little worm type thing that you can cause it to go through. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They've taken those fuzzy worms from the end of it, and they've attached it to a bell and some ribbons and to a little stick so that you can use as a cat toy as a dangler.
Yes. I've seen them with feathers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He was going nuts playing with that earlier, and then Bucky started chasing him halfway across the living room. And about halfway point across the living room, he planted his feet, turned around, and he's like, you know what? No, I've got claws. And he just hauled back, right in the face. And Bucky just didn't know what to think.
That was apropos, wasn't it?
Bucky is so lucky that Barry does not put his claws out. Because Bucky would lose an eye.
Yeah, among other organs.
I shouldn't admit this because this sounds like I'm being a mean puppy daddy, but one of my favorite things to watch.
Watch out behind you. You've got an intruder.
No, he's out in the hall. But one of my favorite things was when Barry would be on the back of the couch, and then the dogs would come up and just start barking at him like mad, and then he would back up, and you just saw the paw come back, and then you heard that paw make contact with furry face 12 times before the dogs had a chance to go, "Arr!" Exactly.
The Wolverine of kitty cats.
Just, he was living back up to his name or his namesake of being the fastest kitten alive. Hit him 12 times before the dogs had a chance to realize anything happened at all. I still love the little dumbass.
We all do.
Just stop puking in my office.
Yeah, go puke someplace else.
Not the
Some-
wife's shoes. Not the
Somewhere-
wife's shoes.
He does not have access to Misty's shoes. Misty keeps the shoes in her bedroom, and the second he pokes his head in there, she's like, "Ah!" And he just
Oh, back to the other end of the time stream.
Crow
Buddy
will
decided-
sometimes forget to close our bedroom doors all the way so it latches. And of course, cats and closed doors, it's a sin. So he'll nudge it open, and then he'll come up, jump on the bed, and I'm like, buddy, I'm fine with you being here. But if mommy notices, and of course, Misty hears me say that, and she just starts, get out! And he's, quick as a flash.
What is a closed door? We have no closed doors in this house.
I try to close the doors, especially at green room or if I'm doing something in the bedroom, talking with the stuff, and I close the door. They scratch at the door. You'd think that, okay, but about that much. No, because little miss, she comes in and boom, that thing's wide open. And then a couple minutes later, I get Ted coming in going, can you shut the door? I didn't shut the door. Yell at the cat. But of course, you can't yell at the cat.
Yeah, Barry was throwing himself at the door like crazy the other night trying to get in.
Well, now Buddy's got allergies and he didn't like the pill shooter, so we had to go get him his medicine compounded. So he has to get his ear massaged. They're lucky they're adorably cute.
Wish I was.
Did you guys see the picture I posted of Bucky earlier today? It's one of the memories that popped up on Facebook. He's sitting there. He's on this just pile of blankets on the couch in our old house, and he just looks like a little sleeping dragon.
Oh, no, I have to look for that.
I saw the video of their first day home.
Yeah, that was posted up from Monday, because 4 years Monday is when they finally came to live with us. So we consider that their birthday because we don't know what the real birthday is, and they told us they were 5 years old when. So they are now officially 9 years old. And
she was like, "Yeah, this is my house," and he's like, "Who the hell is you people?"
What are you people doing in my house?
I got to see if I can find it. So the cage that we let them go in, and we used to lock them up in overnight. Now we've got some puppy pads around the house, and they're pretty good about going on the puppy pads. We're like, screw it, you guys can stay out because you guys aren't tearing stuff up. We were just finding pee and poo everywhere. But the very first night that they came home, we're like, we don't know how they're going to react in the kennel and stuff like that, because our previous dog, Phoebe, who the kennel belonged to, it did not go well. If Phoebe was locked in that kennel, she was howling and freaking out the entire night. Nobody slept. So we're like, screw it. And that's when Phoebe started sleeping in our bed. But anyways, I digress. So we set that up, and we just opened up the door, and we just said, if they want to go in, it's fine, whatever. They were so tuckered out by like 8:30 that night when they first came home that they both just went in, collapsed, like simultaneously, just sleeping. And for the rest of the night we were just staring at puppy ass, because that's all that was pointing back at us. They didn't bother turning around or anything. They just went in and just and we're like, yes, that answers that question. So
it could be worse. When I was
could be a Great Dane that's learned how to escape.
When I was between dogs,
Catahoula mix.
I had a motion detector that would bark. And it worked really, really well. I mean, it had a 10 to 15-yard range. You could point it at the front porch, through the wall, through a brick wall. If anybody came up on the porch, the motion detector would start barking. The next dog that was adopted into the household, I had neglected to turn off the motion detector. So you had basically a comic opera going on with the dog barking at the motion detector, which was barking at the dog until it heterodyned into a symphony of God, shut up!
So the motion detector we had that was part of our alarm system wasn't supposed to pick anything up over 2 feet off the ground. Well, Phoebe liked to run across the back of the couch.
Mm-hmm.
So we would be places and the dog would set off. So all of a sudden we're getting, there's an alarm going off at your house. Do you, wish to, or like, so we'd call them, we'd say, don't send anyone just yet. I'll have my brother-in-law who's right around the corner go check. And yeah, sure enough, it was just Phoebe had set off the motion detector by running off the back of the couch. And I'm like, really, dog? The cat never set it off. It was always the damn dog.
A cat is stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Can hide from a motion detector.
It's Barry's dad,
Inch
Priest.
By inch.
Priest was a freaking ninja. It helped also that he was a black cat with, he only had 2 white spots on him. One white spot that was like right here at the base of the neck, looked like a priest collar, which is why we called him Priest. And the other, Misty liked to call his diaper.
Yes. I pretty much figured that was the general anatomical area that white spot would be in.
And Priest and his brother both had that white spot there and
the bikini
diaper.
Bottom.
Yeah. So it's pretty. I don't care.
I'm laughing because my friend's little Black Panther she's got the little white spots on her stomach. It looks like she's got a little bikini going on. So always joke her out that she's got her little bikini on.
Yeah. Priest was my favorite cat ever. Priest was born an outside cat. We finally got him to become an inside cat. Actually, we got him to become an inside-outside cat. But he did not like people picking him up. I was the only person that would manage to be able to pick him up. And I'm surprised he let me pick him up because usually when I picked him up, it was to remove ticks. So it kind of hurt. But I finally got him trained to the point where, if he was on the couch and you sat on the opposite end of the couch, he would freak out and run. We finally got him calmed down. And then it got to the point where I could actually just sit right next to him on the couch and he'd be fine. But if I lay down, he'd freak out and run.
Excuse me.
My wife's grandmother tried to murder me using chicken and dumplings. I got really
what a way to go.
I got really bad food poisoning off her chicken and dumplings once.
Oh.
So bad I was hallucinating. I got that sick and that dehydrated that I was hallucinating.
Not even my second wife cooked that bad.
But so I'm sitting there and I'm trying to get the world to stop spinning, just laying on the couch, and he actually jumped up and nuzzled with me because he realized I was sick. Never did that for anyone else in the house. Priest is my buddy.
Well, my little mini panther has one white hair on her chest. Just the one. And you gotta look for it if you want to see it.
I'm so glad that I've got his son.
I'm very glad that we have Buddy because it's hard to think how much longer he would have been living in that shelter. And nothing against the shelter because he had never met a bad person, but he was born at the shelter. He lived in the nursery, the tween room, and then the colony room. And we brought him home on Thursday and he celebrated his second birthday Monday. So he had no idea what it was like to be a house cat and to be, petted and loved on all the time, to be doted on because
Merry Christmas to your fur baby.
Yeah, and it's like he never met a bad person though, and I take a lot of comfort in that. He doesn't understand a lot of the coddling. He never had it. So even like giving him his ear massage, he's like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, dude.
Lindsay's got one that's been coming up out of the woods here for the last, I guess, 4 months or thereabouts. And apparently it's pretty friendly. And she's been feeding it on the down low. The neighbors disapprove because one we think has pretty much abandoned it, and the other wants us to put it in the car and drive it off in the middle of nowhere and throw it out. Like that's something I would ever do, or Lindsay would even consider doing. No, ain't happening. And she's said today that he, I'm taking her word for it, has started coming up to within about 8 feet of the chain link fence the rest of the outdoor cats are in. And she's able to feed it. And she has named him Billy, as in Billy No Mates, because she is British. He doesn't have anybody to hang around with, so I'm going. Well, it's only a matter of time. Either he's going to be on the porch with the rest of the outside the fence cats, or he's going to be in the fence, and he's going to be looking at Junior, going, "Bring it, old man! I got this." Because Junior is the only aggressive cat we've got left, and he has never quite learned that.
I thought you had a girl that scares coyotes too.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. But she is 17.
17.
Yeah, so the coyotes have started getting away. She can't run fast enough to catch them nowadays. And the deer are thankful. I mean, seriously, you know how many fawns have disappeared because this cat was hungry. I don't know. And the guy across the road here with the sheep, he's extremely grateful because he was stockpiling mint sauce and for no reason, and now he might have a reason.
To go back to what Dawn just sang under her breath, you don't realize how many songs that were so cool when you were a teenager that are creepy as fuck when you're 50.
Oh yes, you do. Or I have anyways.
Every breath you take, yes.
She's only 17.
Yeah.
It's like, when I was a kid, it's like, yeah. And then, somewhere in my 20s, I'm like, that kind of makes me feel creepy.
Good night,
just
Carl.
Listening to it. Good night, Carl.
Good night, Carl.
And then in my 30s, I'm just like, oh my God, no.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot, especially the hair metal. There's cherry
Oh,
pie.
it doesn't have to be hair metal. I mean, she's
Once bitten,
16.
twice
She's
shy.
beautiful. She's mine. Didn't Ringo do that one?
Well, it also depends on the locality and age of consent and age of majority. I mean,
Hey,
one
If
of the
if it
reasons
was
why it's so many
if
Japanese
it was a
anime.
granddaughter or a Corvette, I could see it. But
One of the reasons that so many Japanese anime have young girls that there's the fascination and zooming in on certain anatomical traits is because their laws allow that kind of thing. And when it comes to the States, it's like that's not right for a kid's show.
yeah, really. There are other things that Japanese law permits and doesn't permit that I find extremely puzzling. But I know
The
it's a
selling of used
cultural thing.
panties, the selling of used panties in vending machines.
Again, I was thinking of
Where the hell did you do that?
There's a lot of that.
There's a market.
In vending machine?
Hey,
in
Japanese are
Japan,
sneaky
everything
as
comes in
hell.
vending machines. I swear.
Yeah,
Things that make
If
They-
if you
they
could,
just sell
if
them
you
in
could
steel
put a
packages in the
hippopotamus
States.
casserole in a vending machine, Japanese people would buy it from that vending machine.
Yeah.
okay, if it's your fetish, whatever, it's a vending machine, whatever, but you don't know what it.
That's the point.
Hmm.
No. That's not even what she wanted to say.
But it's
Yeah.
cultures.
Yeah. Um, it's one of those things where you just got to go. Y'all are extremely polite, but not even Hugh Hefner would do that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not even saying it's anything like whatever your fetish is. To me, it's just the hygienic part of it.
Well, they don't wear them. They sniff
Lord,
them.
no. Let's cut that one off right there. We don't know what they do with them, and frankly, we're quite frightened to find out. So,
Okay, if they're like the guys in the States who buy the sealed panties, that's what it's for.
Allegedly, that is what that's not allegedly what I've heard. That's what I've heard that they allegedly do.
famous.
Yeah.
The stories are famous. And then again, there's the Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, Frank was openly inviting women to throw their panties on stage, and the excuse was, "Hey, we're making a quilt." And the quilt actually was made.
I can believe it.
Hey, it was Frank.
Uh-huh.
Didn't do
Don't
any
eat the
drugs
yellow snow.
whatsoever. He didn't do any drugs whatsoever, and was violently, well, not violent, but vehemently anti-drug. But he did smoke 2.5 packs of Marlboros, I do believe it was, and was into all kinds of adult
Yeah.
recreation. Why did I feel like I needed to clean that up for this audience? I mean, seriously,
because it's not the green room.
really, I could have just said kinky sex, but no. For some reason,
The irony that there's somebody pointing at the green room when somebody's putting up the sign right next to that person that says "not the green room."
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to get monetized. I don't care. I'm just trying to entertain people.
Well, in that case,
Rick,
a rabbi
Rick,
and a priest. Oh, sorry.
I would say, Rich, close your ears, close your eyes, and Aunt Donna and I, you can entertain us, Dan. We know how you.
Go ahead. Do you want musical accompaniment? Oh.
Is Dan blushing?
No, I'm just considering the permutations.
No, he's off in dreamland there.
Damn, it's been since college since somebody's offered me a twofer. I mean, seriously. My mother would blush.
What is Rich?
No, my mother would get mad at the lack of grandchildren. Somewhere out there in the wilderness. No, there's not. I've kept careful track. No, there's not. Sorry, Mom. I did my best. It was a cast of thousands, but no.
We're waiting. You said you wanted
Rich
to
even took his headset off. Oh, wait, here he comes. You had your chance, Dan. Rich is back.
Like that's going to stop me? I was an art major. I mean, seriously. I'm very hard to embarrass these days.
Did you ever pose?
No, I didn't.
Not on
Oh,
purpose.
darn.
I was entirely too skinny.
Yeah, imagine you were back then.
Oh, Lord.
You're just right now.
I'm about 50 pounds overweight now.
I wouldn't say that.
I would. I'm the one looking for the penis scope so I can see how I'm pissing. Believe me, when you have trouble tying your shoes because you can't see over your waist.
You're telling me this? That's why I have you're telling me this? That's why I have slip-ons.
They don't make slip-on safety shoes at work.
Well, that's true.
Although I would love to have some slip-on steel-toe shoes for when I rejoin civilian life. Would come in handy sometimes in the queue at certain restaurants. Just get out of my way.
Was it about 25 years ago they had the Dickie Doo shirts?
You're in between me and the coffee.
Dickie Doo shirts?
Yeah. It was like my stomach hangs out more than my Dickie Doo, or this happens more than my Dickie Doo. And
okay, yeah.
When he said that, all I could think of was shirts.
My mom used to call that Dunlop's disease. His belly Dunlopped over his belt.
Yeah, really. Well, when a man has a tool he's proud of, he's going to build a shed over it eventually. Eventually.
Dude.
I built my shed when I was 10.
Whoa. We don't talk about sheds unless you all want me to bring up my talk. My grandmother, born, raised, lived on a farm her entire life, decided to give my sister her talk and me at the same time, and my sister's 3 years older than me. And literally the talk was, make sure those boys keep their machinery out of your shed. It can sit out and rust.
I don't think she phrased that as well as she could have.
If the machinery is looking rusty, that means it went into the shed at the wrong time.
I was thinking it went in the wrong door.
That would have been in a mud storm.
And yes, folks, this is the classic entertainment that I promised you at the beginning of the show.
This is called old school people. This is called the people from the greatest generation.
You realize I'm
How
not
they
going to be.
taught-
I am not going to be able to berate Joe Dog for his fart jokes after this tonight.
But now you know why I was laughing so hard, and you guys kept talking about the shed. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, and we've got 75 new watchers.
Oh,
Oh.
that would just chap his ass.
That would be
You
so
guys went
great.
blue and you managed to get monetized?
I was going to say,
Not
we
on
have
purpose.
75 new watchers. I want to get monetized for that shit. I want to get paid for talking about my shed. No.
Not even in the green room. No.
Really?
That's one I wouldn't ask you to. Because I know exactly what you're thinking.
A learner keyboard doesn't have the can.
Really? Even dancers in the Wild West knew the can. What's wrong with the keyboard?
Oh, shit.
Seriously, I was going to bring it up, and this way, Dan could do his little burlesque for you guys to the can, and then I could walk out of the room because it's on a meta keyboard.
We appreciate the try.
I tried.
When I was 20, I looked good in a Speedo, but not now. No.
We don't want you to Speedo.
Well, yes. 50% off isn't good enough. I understand.
This is like a Kickstarter. It's all or nothing.
That's right.
Well, I gave her my all, and she sewed up a leather thing and broke the needle.
Okay, Dan. Let's go. 1, and 2, and...
I don't think that I've had any practice doing a striptease to Beethoven before, but
Oh, shit.
with my luck, it's Mendelssohn. Welcome to Obscure Musical Jokes for 200.
Now he's turning red.
Oh my god. Is that what you call it? Macaroni?
Nope. I use more
Yes.
On top of Old Smoky.
That's what she said.
With...
Well, I mean,
they want to say it was snow or cheese, but I think it was something else.
It is down Appalachia way, so I mean,
Okay.
This ain't Eagle Bluff here. And only
Not
about
even
5
Sam
people
Hill.
get that one ever. I swear that was obscure.
I didn't get it, but I could twist it around to sound really bad.
Well, we all been
Madam,
wondering.
you interest
Sam
me
Hill.
strangely. Oh, Lord.
Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
No, it's no, I'm not even going there. That was a cheap shot even for me. That would have been bragging.
Brag. We want to hear it. Come on. Come on, let's see that Saint March.
I'm going to march over to the fridge and get me another beer here in a second.
Oh. I used to be able to do the dance of the 7 veils. That was fun.
fix or it didn't happen.
Didn't have
Is this the Go-Go's? It is!
back in the day.
That up, and there's going to be a different kind of beat going around. Ooh.
Already used my
Oh.
signature line.
I got to get my green room stuff out because with the weather tomorrow, who knows what it's going to be like.
Okay, Facebook user, whoever you are.
What did they say?
Oh, okay. That's my responsibility, ain't it?
We wouldn't do that.
No, but that reminds me of an old Greek story I can't tell here. Maybe tomorrow night.
I hope I can remember to remind you.
I will try to remember as well.
I'll make a note.
Hashtag making notes Thursday night for Friday night.
Oh, Lord. If we had Donna
What
doing
did you do?
hashtags for this,
Oh,
God.
We'd
We'd have to buy her a whole box of ink pens.
Yeah, I was going to say we'd probably best outdo the best of the green room. That one time when we had over 30, and I'm sure there's some I missed.
It was
Are you
so
guys
dark.
getting rain
There were
now?
so many.
Donna?
Hmm?
Are you guys getting rain now?
Oh, we've got a nice little thunderstorm going out there. Thunder and lightning. Very, very frightening me. Galileo.
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 Galileo
Figaro.
Figaro.
So, a game on the PlayStation that Crow and I play
Oh, it was
has
Chris.
a character named Scaramouche. But listening to all of his lines, I always call him Scaradouche. But every time she was talking about the character because she was wanting to get the character so badly, it's not even funny. Because it's one of the ones that you've got to get so much in-game currency to turn in for these wishes that you can get draws and possibly get the character type of a thing. And I pissed her off because my first time I got it. But for their birthday, I ended up just buying them a crap ton of in-game currency so that they could try to get it, and they finally got it. But because all of his lines, he just comes off like such an asshole. I call him Scaradouche. But whenever she was talking about him, I was like, will you do the Fandango? She's like, shut up.
It's working now, Chris. How you doing?
The music channel I have on just decided to start playing Queen. Another one bites the dust. Must have heard us. Queen. Another one bites the dust is playing.
I
on
heard
the
that,
TV right
but you said something after that.
They must have heard us.
Oh.
Another one rides the bus.
Oh, crap.
I get something out of Rich on that one, singing Another One Rides the Bus.
Would think.
Well, no, my brain immediately went, so that's what you're calling Dan's little friend nowadays.
Wait a
Well, I'm
minute.
not going to call it Weird Al. Roaches I can see
No. Oh.
Fun. Till Daddy takes the T-bird away.
I'm gonna choke on my
So
own.
I've only had to cook once this week. Monday night, we went to Monocle's for a fundraiser for Oakwood Grade School with my best friend and her sons. Tuesday night, my husband's ex-work wife came over, and whenever she comes over for supper, we order little Caesars. And so we had pizza again, leftover pizza last night.
Oh.
Then we met Michaela and girls at the other Monocles in town. And I'm like, that hamburger's been thawed since Sunday. I think I need to cook it now before it turns. So we
Before
had,
it becomes sentient.
yeah. And I wasn't looking forward to hamburgers, so I made meatloaf and then split it into patties and cooked that. And then tomorrow I meet my sister at El Toro in Urbana and have Mexican. And that still sounds so funny, my sister.
That is
Hey.
cool, though.
You
It
will
is.
get used to it, and you will always be grateful. Believe me. I am due to cook a crock pot full of chili for Lindsay and myself here coming up shortly, probably Saturday. And John will go, not going to be as good as mine. No, it'll be better. And I've also got pork chops and sauerkraut that I need to cook as well. And I believe that will also pair well with um, Bush's baked beans. And I might even go and get a couple of those snack packs of applesauce to go with it. Because,
Pork
sauerkraut,
chops and
pork chop,
applesauce.
applesauce. Yes, that's a traditional German
You're gonna
meal.
do chili and baked beans
No,
together? Okay.
two different meals.
Okay. I was gonna
So-
ask how many bathrooms you had.
With pork chops and sauerkraut, are you cooking those together or are you cooking pork chops and sauerkraut separate for part of the meal?
They will be cooked together in a crock pot for several hours.
That sounds so damned tasty.
It is. And if I do it right, although these are boneless, if they had bones, the meat would be falling off the bones if I get it right. I'm also thinking of going ahead and doing a pot roast sometime next week. Lindsay does not often let me play in the kitchen because I get inventive. And
Gesundheit.
Oh, no, that was a cough.
Oh, sorry. Doesn't like a sneeze.
Thank you.
Well,
Appreciate it.
Gesundheit works for coughs as well because it just means to your health.
Yes.
I thought she was snickering because Lindsay doesn't let me play in the kitchen.
Well,
It's
that was
her-
part of it, too, and then
I
it kind of
wish
turned
Carl
into a
would
cough.
play in the kitchen.
Hey, it's her kitchen. I just pay
Is there
for
a
the
shed in your
electricity.
kitchen?
Huh?
Is there a shed in your kitchen?
No.
There is when Lindsay's there.
Honey child, there ain't
Get out
there
of my
ain't a
head.
room in this house or a porch that we haven't explored in that direction. All right, and 3 cars in the yard and a swimming pool. And if you want to go there, we can. Because I have absolutely nothing left to give. I don't care anymore.
What did you say, Rich?
I said, get out of my head. Because just before you said it, I was thinking it, and I'm like, I'll behave. And then you said it, and I'm like, Okay, it's there.
You know what I used to tell my mother when she'd tell me to behave? I'd rather be good.
If you can't be good at it.
That's right. Or like Mae West says, when I'm good, I'm very good, and when I'm bad, I'm even better. Okay, Thor.
Excuse me.
Oh my God, Donna, could you time that any better?
Yeah, really. Been fooling around on the side guy again, huh?
Mae West is like, atta girl.
Was talking with
Preach
some
it,
of
sister.
And here I'm trying to distract you with food. No, we got to talk about sex. I mean, seriously.
Let's talk about sex,
I
baby.
was
Let's talk about you and
having a
me.
little chat with my kindred the other day, and this question came up as to which god or goddess were we more pulled to. And of course, one said Thor, and one said Freyr, and one said Freya, and I'm like, I feel like Thor and Freya just kind of toss me back and forth between them like a basketball or something.
Cat toy.
Tennis match.
Which is apropos considering Freya's favorite animal is cats.
Mm-hmm.
I am educated, yes. Not very well, but somewhat. Oh, Lord. Oh,
What are
wait,
you
no,
gonna do?
When they come for you, bad boy, bad boy. Oh.
Now Rich is in my head.
No, I was saying bad boy, not naughty boy.
Bad boys. Oh, that's bad girls. Never mind. Can't we have both?
Mhm.
There's no such thing as a bad girl.
I love a bad girl, May. To quote Dr.
On your
Who.
towel.
Well, seeing how he felt about River Song, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what sort of time do you call this? The nick of. I kept waiting for that line. It never appeared. No writer has had that one pop into their head yet, but it seems so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? 11? We gotta keep this going for another hour.
Okay,
Well-
we're doing fine.
All we had to do is stop thinking about it and just keep talking.
That's what
So-
she said.
On Freevee, there's a series. I guess it ran on WGN for its first season, and I guess Freevee has purchased the stuff to do the second season of it, and is going to put the second season out, called Almost Paradise, starring Christian Kane from Leverage.
Oh,
And
Wait a
actually,
minute. They've already done that.
the second season?
Yeah, there should be a third season now, I think.
The second season just dropped in November, so it's too soon to really talk about a third season. A lot of people are wondering about a third season. But Misty and I just discovered it the other day. And oh dear God, do I love that series.
It's great, yeah.
It's
But then
funny
he
as
went
hell.
back to Leverage Redemption.
Yeah, he's going back and forth between the two right now. And actually, many of the producers are from Leverage and Leverage Redemption. So, and I guess Noah Wiley guest starred on an episode. So it even is branching out to bring in folks that he's starred in with the librarians in. So and Christian Kane is one of the producers as well, and it's just funny as hell.
I love it, yeah.
It's the day-to-day stuff just sends his blood pressure and his heart rate just spiking. And it's just when it's time to basically beat the hell out of people and kill people, he's cold as a cucumber.
Oh, I love this show where his uncle showed up and his uncle's a grifter.
I haven't got to that episode yet.
Oh.
I did see
I,
it when I was looking at the stuff to read a little bit ahead. Yeah,
I'm
I'm not
trying to
reading.
remember the actor's name. Was on Spin City.
That's a lot of folks.
I know.
Um,
He's often kind of mealy mouthed. Damn, cannot think of his name. Richard.
Richard Klein?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Klein? Kind?
Klein.
I love Richard Klein.
Bug's Life.
I remember him as doing stand-up back in the day. So, oh, Lord. I ran across
Sorry, Richard
something-
Kind, not Klein. Kind. Richard Kind.
Kind,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm not familiar with him at all. Okay.
You would be.
He's the
If
kind
you
of guy.
saw him-
If you saw him, you know him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Al on Home Improvement. Yep. Okay.
No.
Oh, no.
No, that's Richard. That's another Richard.
That's Richard Karn.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris.
You-
I'm sorry
it's-
you're wrong. You've been overruled.
He's got a very distinctive voice too.
Oh, another one. I can't.
Kind
stand
of higher
competition.
pitched, almost whiny.
He played
Yeah.
Paul Lassiter.
See, I always think. See, when
on
I
Spin City.
when I hear his name, I always think of A Bug's Life.
He was also in a 2-episode storyline on Leverage where he played the mayor whose biggest accomplishment was almost being a baseball player.
Yeah, well, he and Fidel Castro have a lot in common. If he had a better fastball, Cuba'd probably be right on up there with Puerto Rico as another U.S. territory.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, that's a philosophy. No, not philosophy. That's an alternate history thing. Sometimes I think I wasted my life watching every episode of Quantum Leap and Sliders, and
I miss those two shows. I loved them.
yes, indeed. Although both took a couple of missteps along the way, and they were executive decisions, not the writer's fault,
Yeah.
and certainly not the actors.
That reminds me, I got to get back into finishing out the new Quantum Leap. I'm only a few episodes in, and I love it so far. It's a really nice tweak. And I got to get caught up on the new Night Court.
It's kind of
That-
cute.
That's two that I haven't run across yet.
Okay.
But that's because we don't have broadcast TV anymore, and it's not on a streaming service that we've got, either one of them.
So,
So,
Dan, did you ever watch the Carol Burnett show from like 1991 when she did that little revival?
They revived it in the
I
early
believe-
90s.
I believe I've seen every Carol Burnett that has ever been made.
Okay. Or did you ever watch Mad About You?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
thought
He
it
was
was
in Mad
cute.
About You.
Okay.
He was I never watched it, but Dr. Mark Devenow.
Okay.
He's been in so much stuff. I mean, he's
I checked the link in private chat. If you click on that, you'll see his face. And
oh, him.
Well, that's a long link. Okay.
no, yeah, I just grabbed it out of the browser from.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a
There,
great supporting actor that people forget. And then when they see him, they're like,
um,
oh, yeah, he was in blah. You know,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, a lot of character actors fall into that, and I hate to call it a trap, but that category. They're
the
they're
thing
they're
is,
so
that's when you know
good.
that they are an excellent character actor because you forget who they are because if for whatever you see them in, they are that.
That. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. That's like after Night Court. I ran across the cartoon called uh, Mighty Max, and Richard
Richard Mole.
Richard Mole was one of the supporting voice actors in that. And I'm just going,
Has so many voice credits, it's not even funny.
oh, I know. He's right on up there with Tim Curry and Tim Curry was in Mighty Max as a voice actor as well. Um,
Real funny thing about Richard Mole is he was a classically trained actor, and when he came to Night Court, he was kind of a fish out of water because everyone's doing all this improv stuff, and he's like, huh? And apparently, when asked if he would come back to the Night Court revival or any of the, you know, rumored reunion shows that people had hoped for and clamored for throughout the years, his answer was, "No, I will run the opposite way as fast as I can." Apparently, Night Court was not his thing, and he is not in a hurry to reunite with any of those folks.
that's
Most of those
that's too
folks are
bad. He
gone
was he
anyway.
was
I
So
was going to
very
say most of them are.
he was excellent in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Fred Gwynn and Al Lewis had the same thoughts about Yvonne DiCarlo, who had never done comedy and was a
A
classic
yes, an
actress.
ingenue at that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now and when the Munsters came out,
Yvonne DiCarlo.
she was a
Yeah.
she was a big star, but in she kept getting in these romantic interest sort of roles instead of being the leading lady. And she was excellent at everything they gave her a script for. I mean, the woman could do no wrong.
You know, back in my formative years growing up, um, whenever I was sick from school, I'd lay on the couch, and you know the Munsters would come on, and I'd sit there and I'd watch it, and then I'd be too sick to turn it from the Munsters once it turned to the Richard Simmons show, and I'd be like, hell, I guess I'll just sit here and watch their or sleep or whatever. But anyways, going back to the Munsters, I had always found Lily to be so much more attractive than the character of Marilyn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You can see that.
yeah. The only competition that Yvonne had in that genre was Carolyn Jones in Adam's Family, Morticia.
Mm-hmm.
Mia Karina. Which brings us back to some of my favorite episodes of Night Court were always the ones where John Aston guest starred.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. The man has never done it. He was one of the back in the 1960s Batman. He
One of the
was one of the
Riddlers.
he was one of the more frightening villains.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, you would believe this guy was a barely contained serial killer.
Frank Gorshin was campy, and John Aston
Was
cold.
frightening.
Yeah,
I mean,
John Aston was fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Just turn your back. That just once. Just for a second.
Dainty walk. Yeah, that's all she could walk in that tight dress.
That's enough about the tight dress. Thank you.
Something else getting tight, Dan?
Nope.
Not yet. Damn,
Not
I
at
haven't been
all.
trying hard enough.
Not touching that line with the. What was it they said about Roman's landscape 5-foot pole?
Oh,
no,
now
no.
quit bragging.
Oh no!
Nothing's getting tight on Dan because what you guys don't see is right now he's wearing a kilt, the proper way.
No, I'm not. I'm wearing blue jeans.
I love how he looks down to check.
I don't own a kilt. I don't have to.
We can
check
change
for
that.
You might buy one, but I'm nope. No, not the girl with the bagpipes. No, Dan, don't go there. Although she is cute.
Now I've got to figure out how to get that Not the Green Room logo on a kilt.
That would have to be embroidered.
Not necessarily.
Maybe on the
Oh, just have
what's that
the
called? The
Spore.
sporan.
Sporan.
Yep. Just have it
Oh, got it.
have it printed on the flap for the sporan.
It'd be a really appropriate place for it.
No, actually, you should have the one that says "This is the green room" on the kilt.
No, what you need to do is get on the sporan. Hey, my eyes are up here.
I don't know where you've been, my friend, but I see you won first prize.
And then across his chest. Nope, still further.
Oh, Donna's heard that joke.
Oh yeah.
Scotsman clad and kilt left the bar one evening fair.
Folk songs, folks. Folk songs. That's all it is. There's nothing prurient here, except our interest.
Lad, I don't know where you've been, but I see you've won first prize. No, I never listened to Dr. Demento.
Oh, who
Dr.
would have listened
Demento.
to
I heard that in the
Demento?
SCA.
Of course.
It was a long time ago, come Choctaw. Heavenly Day. No, I'm not making that joke either.
I
not
covered my
even in the
mouth.
green room.
I covered my mouth. There was no joke to make. I covered my mouth.
I'm sorry. No, I was talking about a random thought that crossed my mind.
Uh-oh.
Nothing's random in your mind. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Everything is random in my mind.
I was going to say.
This is like 6,000 browser tabs are open, and 5 of them are playing music, and one of them keeps popping up these little invitations to some disreputable website.
Called the green room?
No,
Hey.
it's one. Though it's one that's disreputable. The green room has a fine reputation.
Oh, not something that would tarnish your reputation. My apologies.
The green room is really infamous, not. And the worst kept secret on the web. Thanks
All
to
right.
BKM.
Especially when I was gonna say, especially BKM announcing it to everybody. I'm like, what?
So, two things. First off, if Dan had a site like that, I guess we could just call it Only Dan's.
Yeah, but
Second-
it would be possessive, not plural.
Second, being IT for the law industry, I am subscribed to a couple of newsletters. One of them called Above the Law talks about weird things that are going on throughout the country as far as law goes. 2 articles this week dealt with OnlyFans and people in law. One, an associate quit her job at the law firm because she makes more on OnlyFans. She makes almost 3 times as much on OnlyFans as she did practicing law. Granted, by the salary, she was only her first year. So she was saying she was only making about $75K. So that was interesting. The other is there was a judge who got fired because of his OnlyFans site.
If the site is legal and they've been all through the legal stuff, but did he sign anything when he became a judge that said he wouldn't be?
The thing is, it's its unprofessional nature and things of that nature. So, first off, he told a councilwoman to choke on a bag of dicks or something like that, or choke on dicks or something.
Oopsie.
So because of that, she had him investigated. And one of the things he was talking about is pleasuring himself before going out to the bench and practicing.
Well, it's better than doing it on the job.
No, he was on the job. He was in his chambers rubbing one out before walking out.
Still, what I was saying is it's better than during.
Yeah.
While he was sitting
on
on the
while he was
bench.
at the month
But
bench.
better than actually during a court session. But yeah, so yeah, he got canned, and yeah, some of the things that it was a very interesting read. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, New York judge gets fired because of OnlyFans site.
It has come to my attention that the guy that keeps showing up in all these buff Santa sort of memes. I have read, I cannot verify, I have read that he's a reputable star in Japanese porn.
I can buy that.
The ones that concentrate on older non-Japanese guys with young Japanese women. And I'm going,
a young.
Hey, he's got access to the naughty list. What's the problem?
Oh.
Mrs. Claus might just approve of the time spent away from home. I mean, she has had her eye on that tall elf for quite a while. But...
Well, as I said, elves are the right height for happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sometimes
Especially that one
Dopey
that
is,
keeps complimenting her on her shampoo.
sometimes Dopey is not a stupid guy. You haven't run across that cartoon yet. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
Apparently, he didn't hear. You didn't hear what I said.
I heard what you said. Yes,
He was trying to just let it flow.
it was in the same vein. Yes, indeed.
A main vein?
Evidently.
That's what she's hoping for.
Who is this nebulous she you keep referring to? I
Oh,
need phone numbers. No, I don't. Oh, Daniel.
what is it? 1-800 call a babe. What was it? Trying to think of what it was in Pretty Woman. 1-800 babe.
Never
I
saw
can't remember how he said it.
Mm. No. Promiscuity was a fun hobby, but I've had to
Back
put
in
my
the day.
hobbies aside. Back in the day, yes, indeed. Before I decided to become a responsible adult, that was a questionable decision. Shut up.
I didn't decide. It kind of got,
It became a lifestyle.
I mean, just one night, fate went bang. Oh, crap. I guess I gotta marry the guy.
There's a song about that. One night with you, and Arlo Guthrie did a good version of that one.
I was going with Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
You'd be surprised at how infrequent that actually was.
Yeah, especially when there's more room in the back.
Really? Oh, when I had the Chevy Caprice, you could put a condo in the back seat.
Same
What
with
year
my
was yours?
Belmont.
What year was mine?
Yeah,
72.
78 Impala. So yeah, I mean, similar. Bench seats in the front, so it really actually worked out for the best.
Hmm.
I think my
75
old
Impala
was
and a
71 Delmont 88, not Delta, Delmont.
Oh wow, that one's back there.
Mm-hmm. You could put two Impalas in that car. Damn, I miss it.
One of my friends had a, oh, was it a 77? It was the Thunder Chicken that had, you could put a card on the hood basically. It was that one with the hood was,
Yep. About
and
a 70 Thunderbird. Yeah.
it had
It
T-tops.
had about a 60-acre hood.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I wouldn't want to say that the Delmont is a tank, but one snowy day I went off the road. It took out about 4 fence posts, just small fence posts, and landed about 2 car lengths, its car lengths into this field. Not a scratch on that puppy.
I did that with the Caprice once, and all it did was bend the chrome a little bit on one fender, and that was a story right there. Tell you that one in person. It's not going online. Nope.
Um, the chrome on the Delmont on the bottom started at the door and continued underneath the car.
Whoa. Wrap around.
What? I mean, for a good long way. So, like, okay, Not many people's going to see that, but
Shiny. Probably to reflect road light.
maybe.
The way that a few years ago the undercarriage fluorescent lights were in vogue. You'd be driving down the road and you've got somebody's kitchen fluorescent lights going off underneath their car. Um, oh, there was a weird thing that they came out with not too many years ago, but basically it was LED hubcaps.
Mm-hmm.
As you're driving down the road, it would show uh, a um I hate to say movie scene, but it would show animation on the hubcaps as you're going down the road. So
Mm-hmm.
you're at 60 miles an hour going through downtown wherever, and you've got galloping horses on your hubcaps, you know, and all kinds of stuff. And I'm going, that would be so distracting in traffic. It'd be like one of those billboards, the LED billboards that are hooked up to the internet, and they're showing. Oh God, there's one in Atlanta. I do believe it's apocryphal, but I don't know. It's entirely possible. Some billboard that was basically a huge LED TV. Somebody had hacked that thing and tuned it to a porn channel during rush hour morning traffic.
Do you know what I hate right now are the Jeeps? Like they have the colored rims lights around their headlights.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I don't like that. That bugs me. I see that and I'm just like, what is that? And it's like, oh, it's a frickin' Jeep that's got to have blue circles around their headlights.
Yeah, there's a sedan like that as well, and evidently off-duty cops like it because they can have it be blue, and if they see something while they're on their way home or on their way to work, they can put the little suction cup flasher on top and pull somebody over.
Gumdrop.
You just you look at that and you go, how close to the Green Hornet's Black Beauty are you going to get with this? I mean, seriously. There was one cop that got in trouble because he had non-standard ring lights around the headlights and was driving around trying to pull people over with green lights, which have nothing to do with cops.
Hey, Nita.
Yeah.
Hello, Indie Comics Network. And
That's our Nita girl.
yes, it is. Oh, let me see here. We got half an hour left. Let me see if I can give Nita a link here.
Okay, so is that Bucky?
Yes, this is the Bucky.
Hey, Bucky.
This is my little lanky dragon.
These are my blinkies.
This is my Bubba that I can hold like a baby.
Oh, cheetah 3 a.m.
And he just looks up at me like, Daddy, your breath smells like food. I want to lick the taste out of your mouth. And I'm like, This little bastard.
That's kinky.
This little bastard. I was not expecting it. I was talking to Misty. It was shortly after I had, eaten dinner. Next thing I know, I have a puppy tongue in my mouth. He's done that to me twice.
Oh yeah.
One more time, I got to put a ring on it.
Oh dear.
He's like, whatever, Daddy.
You won't. You'll just keep putting up with it.
Oh, there was one night this week where I came to bed late and about like I'm going to do tonight. And
Yo, don't you even, you motherfucker. You are not French kissing me on air.
The dog was kind of trying to push me away, but what she was actually doing was she was pushing against me so that she could rub up against Lindsay. And I mean, she's just rubbing her back, no big deal. She's just trying to be affectionate.
But you were in the road.
I was about to fall off the edge of the bed. And I kept saying, dog, stop, dog, stop. And Lindsay got up, took the dog, went in the living room, and Lindsay got in the lazy boy and told the dog to lay down, had the bedroom door shut so she couldn't come back. And then about 2 hours later, I woke up to a call of nature and had to go and take care of business. Came back. Lindsay and the dog were both in bed. The dog was much better behaved. It's like, if you don't leave him alone, I'm going to take you in the living room where you can't be next to him at all. And the dog goes, fuck that shit. I'm going to behave. Just snuggle puppy the rest of the night. Curled up in one armpit. I mean, and the dog's damn near as tall as I am.
And still has growing to do.
Yes. I can see where she's going to be more frightening to the coyotes than Susie, the cat. Oh, no, I don't frighten the coyotes at all. They don't know I'm there. I'm a ninja. I will be glad when she is old enough to settle down and just go, okay, food bowl, yep, outside, yep, inside, yep, nap time, yep. Oh, daddy's going to bed. Oh, mommy's going to bed. Time to settle down.
We hope that'll happen in the next year or so when Calvin gets to be an adult. And as big as he is now, and he's still got almost a year of growing to do, he's going to be one big kitty cat.
Uh-huh.
How old is he now?
He was a year old in February.
I still learning this light thing going on.
Oh, Chris, substitute the A for an E, and you'll spell her name correctly. She gets picky about that. She won't say anything to you because she thinks you're cute and you're sweet.
He is.
Well, yes, he is. Well,
and then
sweet.
He blindsides us.
Nope.
That sharp little. You see it coming.
I see the wit coming a mile away. All I got to do is see that grin, and I go, ooh, this is why he's second in command there. The firefighter putting out all the flames Joe Dog starts at the convention, or anybody else starts. You really got to respect a convention with Joe Dog in charge, with Chris as second in command, and John as security. There's stuff going on that shouldn't be going on, but you'll never know.
Yep.
They take care of it before nip it in the bud. Yet they take care of it before anybody else ever finds out.
Nip
when
it,
a problem
Andy.
comes along, you must nip it.
Okay, I referenced a TV show. You referenced a song.
And he
Yeah,
said
well,
nip it, and I was whip it, and I was like, ooh, Jacques, where's Jacques?
we crossed three genres there. And we're not through yet, darling.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something I found out the other day. Um, I had been watching a special music thing on Gary Newman. You remember Cars, and he had he had come back to doing music after taking some time off, and was doing a song called "Rip." And I go, that's wow, that's neat. I like that. And I sit and I watch the video and I go, if any Doctor Who fan watches this, they're going to go, was that an influence on the Sacha Dhawan master? I mean, really, this is distinctly parallel there, the character he's doing on stage during that song and the character from the recent Doctor Who. And I'm going, if anybody don't notice that one, they're probably not listening to Gary. So once I noticed it, I was going back and I was watching the video over and over again. And not because of the Gary Newman possibly being an influence on Sacha Dhawan, but it was a damn good song. I highly recommend it. Um, it's spooky. I like that. Just really spooky. I like it. There's there and if you're used to Gary just doing electronic music, he's grown. He's evolved. So there's some really nice stuff coming out. Uh, and this is probably not even a recent thing. It's probably been a few years back. I didn't really look at the dates. Um, y'all mind if we dance with y'all dates? Um,
No, go right ahead.
We were just leaving.
somebody got the reference. Uh, Lord.
So I watch Rizzoli and Isles, and one of my favorite scenes is when Corsac, when they're talking about, he goes, I've seen uh, Animal House a couple times. He's like, did you guys, anybody ever here watch Rizzoli and Isles?
Mm-hmm.
No, but
Corsac.
I saw Animal House several times in the 70s.
Yes.
Yeah. But the guy who played Corsac, that's D-Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when he's like, I've seen Animal House a couple times, he says that line in Rizzoli and Isles.
Did we give up when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Germans? Pearl Harbor? Shh, he's on a roll.
He's on a roll. Don't stop him. He's on a roll. Now, one of the things
What am I?
one of the things I liked about that was Tim Matheson being all grown up when I was used to him being Johnny Quest.
Mm-hmm.
And then he shows up in To Be or Not to Be. Never going to look at Johnny Quest the same way again.
Which technically we're bringing it back to Leverage again too.
Ooh.
All sorts of Inception tonight.
And by the way, Rizzoli and Isles is on Lifetime.
Yeah. during the day, sometimes we go between that and then Castle's on something, so we watch Castle
On
too.
Lifetime.
Nathan Fillion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, aren't they going to try and revive Castle?
Castle?
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nathan's having a really good run on the Rookie.
It's just something I read. I don't know how much fact is in it. It might be somebody's wet dream. I don't know.
Probably
Be
But,
mine.
the article I read was they were going to try and revive it, and Nathan had agreed to reprise his role, and no word on any of the other characters that were in the show. So, one of the shows of Castle concerned a murderer that
Really?
had steampunks in it.
Were they the ones that were there like underground?
Not sure.
Maybe.
But evidently there was a duel by
And it was
couple of steampunks, and one of them was, shall we say, not playing fair. And one of the characters that showed up, just incidental character, not the main part of the plot, was Thomas Williford, who is one of the most highly regarded steampunk
Brute Force
Acres.
Studios. Yes,
Brute Force Studios. And
gorgeous stuff. And a great funny guy.
Oh, yeah, he's fun. I met him almost every time I've been to an Acrocon before it sadly ceased to be. I've met him a couple of times at LibertyCon. He's a wonderful person. He was one of
I've
the
had a couple
judges
back
for
and
this-
forths with him on my page and his page for Facebook, for being Facebook friends. Just witty as all hell.
At the end of this episode of Castle, Aphelion is wearing a mechanical arm,
Oh yeah, that's
which is
Thomas's.
one of Thomas's sculptures, and it's absolutely gorgeously articulated. I've seen
Yes.
Thomas wear it. I've seen him actually do fiddly repairs on it at a con, and
Dr. Featherstone or something like that, right?
Yep. He has also written a couple of books that are,
I got one of them around here.
yes, they're kind of and not unjustly aimed at children mostly, and have not only a story but how to make little props inexpensively. So, yeah, hey, Thomas is a great guy. He really is.
And there was a, I don't remember what channel it was on, Steampunked, where he was one of the judges.
It was a game
for these makers.
show channel.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the Baker's Challenges type shows and stuff like that, except it's making steampunk props and rooms and stuff like that. And it is just the stuff these people created is so gorgeous.
I have
But
met,
yeah.
I have met all but I want to say 3, but it's probably 2 of the contestants on the show.
Cool.
And I knew Thomas beforehand.
Yeah.
Look, if it's anybody concerned with that show, I would say check them out, because they are really interesting people, and they are extraordinarily
talented.
craftspeople.
Very talented, all of them.
I found out about Thomas because of a couple writer friends of mine, T. Morris and Philippa Ballantyne, wrote a series of steampunk novels. And they became kind of affiliated with Thomas through going to steampunk stuff to do research to go ahead and write these novels. And they're great novels. It's the Ministry of Peculiar Events, Peculiar Occurrences, is the series title, and then there's 6 books in it. They're awesome. If you can find them, check them out. TTEE Morris MORRIS and Philippa PHIPPA Ballantyne BALANTINE. They are really great people, as well as really talented writers.
Now, if you're the audience out there, if you're looking to find several of these people, my friends list is loaded with them. So, and they're incredible artists in a variety of different fields. Some of them costuming, some of them prop making, some of them practical construction. So it's just steampunk crossed a large number of disciplines of
Good night, Chris.
creativity. Oh, good night, Chris.
Good night, Chris.
And also another fun thing steampunk wise is the League of Steam.
Mm-hmm.
They are more of a Weird West steampunk rather than a Victorian steampunk, which actually I kind of like my steampunk a little more Weird West.
Well, it was the same time period.
Exactly.
It was.
But it's just exactly where you are in the world. And, you know, I love the Victorian stuff too, but, you know, it's, I can have pepperoni pizza or I can have a supreme pizza, you know, and, you know, my supreme pizza is Wild West, you know, the Weird West.
There was a period of time where a Japanese samurai could have sent a fax to Abraham Lincoln and all be historically accurate and in the same time period. Somebody pointed out that you could have a story that featured a gunslinger, a European revolutionary, a mad scientist, or, you know, at least a mad engineer.
Mhm.
Oh God, and there are like 2 other categories, but it was all in the same time period. There was one lady that was going to an Acrocon that was doing Native American steampunk, and it was all in the Industrial Revolution period of the early 1800s. Beautiful stuff, absolutely beautiful stuff. But anything that happened in between,
Yeah, and I mean, you could even have, you know, a rapier style fencer, you know, tossed in that entire mix as well because of the musketeers.
yes, basically anything that happened during the run up to Victoria's coronation, all
Oh
the way
God.
through Edwardian was considered part of the Industrial Revolution, part of the steampunk era. So all of the H.G. Wells, all of the Jules Verne, all of the Western penny dreadful sort of things, um, dime novels. You could pull from a huge amount of literature to make all these things happen. And it was all simultaneous. Um, Damn, I can't remember the name of the era in Japan or in China because they were simultaneous, but I can't remember either one of those. My, it's late. I'm sorry. We've only got 9 minutes left. Uh, Steampunk is one of those things that I have really I have embraced with cause. I love it. Um, if you don't understand what steampunk is, if you've ever seen an episode of Wild Wild West,
Hmm.
the TV series, that's steampunk.
Bronze Art's got some pretty cool like stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Radio Retro Future.
Retrofuturism is another way that they coin
Yes.
it as well.
Well, I'm just saying
Think
that too.
of anything that you would see in a Jules Verne or a H.G. Wells story. That is the same vein. It's that romanticism. And back then, a romantic book wasn't the stuff Michaela writes. It was more the stuff that,
Right.
you know,
All those stuff Michaela writes would fit right in.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not that kind of romance as you know, the rumpy pumpy stuff. It's more the sci-fi is what it was called back then. It was just called romantic fiction. But a lot of that romantic fiction, you know, technically, you know, it's Frankenstein could fit into the steampunk
Yes, very
aesthetic
well.
as well.
Very well.
Except again, you know, back then it wasn't going retro. It was just futurism for them. But yeah, a lot of that stuff is really beautifully done, and it's, you know, looking at the past and applying the cool crap we have today, but figuring out how to skin it with the technology of the industrial revolution. In that
Instead of electronics, everything was analog.
everything was analog or aether powered.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it also encompassed a lot of magic dealing with the aether type stuff as a power source for magic.
My friend Pat Elrod, P.N. Elrod, that writes the Vampire Files series, among several other series that she has written.
Excellent author.
Oh, she's fantastic.
I love her stuff.
She's also written hopefully only the first of a series on Her Majesty's Psychic Service, basically.
Ooh.
The first book is called The Hanged Man, and Lindsay and I have had the honor of being characters in the story, and I'm one of the bad guys.
Well,
Hopefully, if there's a sequel, I hope to have my character redeemed so that my wife doesn't leave me. But it's not good. Hey, I have been Tuckerized in several things. There's been at least 2, maybe 3 things that and actually I've been named once in Stephanie Osborne's. Help me out here, Rich. You're reading the series.
Of course, you put me on the
Apple
spot.
One Division.
Division 1.
Division, yeah.
There. Okay. When when one of Stephanie's characters pulls out a Winchester and Tesla ray gun. I am the inventor of the Winchester and Tesla. Stephanie has the first one I ever made. It's a beautiful sculpture. It's a work of art. It really is. And if you ask her nicely, she'll show it to you. But be careful to stay away from the business end because it's a 75 caliber plasma pistol. Um, I had to make my wife one after I made Stephanie's. I told Stephanie it was going to be a one-off, and that Lindsay wanted one, and I go, "This is probably excusable. Don't have me killed in my sleep." Um,
Dan, you
but
just left that wide open and fully loaded.
yes, I did. Sort of like me. Um, and then
Hey now.
there's one novel in the series where I'm actually a speaking character, named speaking character. I'm
The
very
closest,
proud of that.
the closest
Oh,
that I am is in Cora.
um, I can't remember anybody else that's Tuckerized me in anything. Um, Bound to happen again. Believe me, I get around. Um, Donna.
I didn't say anything.
How did you get punished from that when I'm sitting here too? You think it would have been Dawn?
Yeah, because I can read Donna's mind. I can't read yours yet.
That should have been an open-ended reading my mind on that
Yeah.
comment.
And I don't even have to mention Rich has been living inside my head for years now, ever since he ran across Aphelion.
And go figure, it's the double D's that get you in trouble, Dan. Actually, technically, right now it's triple D's.
Yes. No, they're not
Don't
that
take
big.
this the wrong. Don't take
Dan,
this the wrong way.
Dan, Donna, Dawn, triple D.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I was gonna say
I
don't
wasn't
take this
talking
the
about
wrong
you,
way, but
girl.
I've even got more of the double D thing going on.
And technically, we could consider it a quadruple D because if I go by Dick instead of Rich, then it's 4 Ds.
That's scary.
One of
That's
my
okay.
friends and I, we used to go out drinking,
Or 2 pairs of
and we
double
would
Ds.
always. One of my
And a
friends
lo-
and I, we used to go
Now
out
you're talking
drinking,
about you and me again, Don.
and a
And
loader 45.
we would always take turns drinking, and somebody would be sober driver, somebody would be drinking. We always did that. And
Oh,
whenever
yeah.
she was drinking and I was the driver, she's like, "This is my triple double D, and I'm not going to tell you why."
Hmm. Well, that one's definitely not family hour.
There's really only one that, and actually none of them are.
Just think
Only
about
one
it.
of them's a double D.
Well, no, I was a triple double D.
No.
I was the designated driver. My last initial is a D, so I'm DD. Okay, maybe the third one was,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're just gonna mhm.
Why am I always the designated drinker? It's not that I'm
Because-
complaining.
Because
It's
you're
just-
smart and you get to choose first.
I choose fun.
You walk in, give me a beer. All right, sorry, I already started drink. Sorry, someone else is going to have to drive.
Don't blame me. I was drunk when I got here.
Ted has said that there was times where, because I've been able to not drink off and on for years, that they couldn't tell at the bar if I was drunk or not because of how I was acting, just because I was just in the moment having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have been at parties where I had quit drinking like 3 hours before I decided to leave, and people were still worried that I was too drunk to drive. I'm going, I've been on ginger ale for 3 hours. I mean, seriously, it's just I'm having fun. I act like
Mm-hmm.
hmm It's like,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm grateful that my friends were concerned that I might not have been in any condition to drive, and that they had provided me with so much enjoyment at the party. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's
nowadays I
time to
go
say goodnight,
someplace.
Gracie.
Yes, it is. Nowadays, if I go to a party and it's not a party, it's a convention, I'm going, oh, I'm glad this party comes with a room, so I don't have to worry about driving.
Yep.
Well, look at the whole thing with the pizza today, Donna.
What?
About we were talking about that you had lunch with Michaela.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, when we were with BKM, we shut down the pizza ranch. That's how much fun we had. How much
Well,
partying we did. But we had fun.
they were on their way to Ohio, so they weren't too interested. Besides, the two girls probably didn't want to hang out that long with the old fogies.
So what the hell did they do that they got sentenced to Ohio? I mean, that had to be a pretty heinous crime.
I think they were going to go to the zoo. She said they were going to the zoo
Go
tomorrow.
to the zoo tomorrow. There's where they are. There's a hiking trail. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What did you do that you got sentenced to go to a hiking trail? It's just something her and her girls like to do.
That's cool that they do that. That they do that
It
every
is.
year. So it's
Hey. The family that stays together slays together. No, that's not going to wind up being the theme of one of Michaela's next books. No.
no. But the way that they banter back and forth, you're waiting for it, weren't you, Donna? Very fun, though.
Banter is always fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing all three of you tomorrow night. At the end of a rough week of work, and I will definitely need the green room.
Oh.
Among other things. Had to stop at the liquor store, and oh Lord, these things, they happen.
Yeah.
Uh,
Carl wasn't going to go with me until he found out it was the El Toro in Champaign. Oh, that means Benny's, booze and cigars.
Leverage.
I would have gone without him if he didn't want to go, but he wouldn't have gotten anything out of it.
Not going to touch that line even in the green room. Ladies, gentlemen, we have come to the top of the hour, and it is time to say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Love y'all, and tyou for being here.
Love you
And to
too.
the studio audience that may be watching in the indeterminate future, may y'all be blessed too, in a nice way. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Transmission overload.
System will shut down. System will shut down. will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.